How did you, Mr. Hill?
Peru. I thought the name sounded familiar. I tried to see you the other night.
Oh, he wants to put Winthrop in the band, Marion.
We're not interested, Mama.
But Marion, he may have his father's musical gift. He has my jaw, you know.
Your husband's musical? Well,
Do you always burst into people's homes like this, prying into personal affairs? We're not interested.
But Marion.
That's 1 for and 1 against. Why not let the boy's father decide?
The boy's father is dead. Is there anything else?
Well, I'm very sorry. But that's all the more reason your boy should be in the band.
My brother is an 8-year-old problem child who's having a hard time understanding why his father was taken from him. Would you care to explain it to him? He's been brooding about it for 2 years. And as for you and your musical tricks, why don't you go into business with some nice carnival man who sells gold-painted watches and glass diamond rings?
Well, musical tricks, Miss Peru, I hardly think that... I think she likes the idea. Oh, a little cautious, perhaps. But you keep me alive, and I'll be back later in the week.
Oh, Professor, about the boy's measurements. I do all his sewing, you know. Sleeve 21, waist 18, crotch 14.
Thank you, Mrs. Peru.
Oh, and Professor, please excuse Marion. She's not always like that.
Oh, I'm sure that at heart she's as lovely as yourself. Good day, Widow Peru.
Good day.
Mama, is he gone?
Yes, and I hope not forever. Darling, don't you ever think about your future? Gary conservation class about 5. And darling.
Mama, surely a girl's future doesn't depend on encouraging every fast-talking, self-centered, woman-chasing, traveling salesman that comes to town.
All right.
And the fact that he claims his commodity is music in this particular instance does not impress me.
Well, all right, darling. But it's a well-known principle that if you keep the flint in one drawer and the steel in another, you'll never strike much of a fire.
Mama! Winthrop, come here, dear. I know you're in there. Now, I want you to go down to the library and get the book I set aside for Miss Grubb. It's the Indiana State Educational Journal, 1890 to 1910. A big red book with gold letters.
Do I have to?
Now, you won't have to say a word. I've written it all down for you. Thank you.
What are you up to? What you be needing books at this time of night for?
I have a feeling that the Indiana Journal is going to help me poke some rather large holes in the professor's claims.
Oh, darling, if you don't mind me saying so, at your age, what kind of a white knight do you expect to come riding along?
Well, I'm not waiting for Luther Greiner, who backs me into the ancient history shelf every time he comes into the library.
He does?
And I'm not waiting for Ed Grimmage in that buggy of his with the removable back seat. But I'm not waiting for a knight in shining white armor either, Mama. My white knight, nor a Lancelot, nor an angel with wings, just someone to hold me, who is not ashamed of a few nice things. My white knight, what my heart would tell if it only knew who. Please, dear Venus, show me now. All I want is a plain man. All I want is a modest man, a wise man, gentle man, a straightforward and honest man to sit with me in a cottage somewhere in the state of Ireland. And I would like him to be more interested in me than he is in himself, and more interested in us than in me. And if occasionally he ponders what makes Shakespeare and Beethoven great, him I would love till I die. Him I would love till I die. My white knight, not a Lancelot,
Anita! Hey, Anita!
Mommy, Mama is sitting right there in the bank. Golly gee.
All right, then. Meet me after supper.
I can't. It's extra night. Me swear.
The footbridge?
That's what I said. Last time the lumber mill and now the footbridge. And where are you going to meet me after that? The Black Hole in Calcutta? Golly gee.
I only wanted to show you my invention.
What invention?
It's a music holder for marching piccolo players. It still has a couple of minor flaws. See, when you keep it tight enough, to hold the music steady, it cuts off your circulation. And you can't wiggle your fingers. Meanwhile, you could go blind.
Papa!
Hell, is that the first thing I said or not?
Yes, George.
Yes, the first thing I said, or I'll eat hell with a horse. Get that spellbinder's credentials, I said, 4th of July, 1912. And now look, my wife was off dancing at any old hours instead of in the house.
But George.
The school board is singing up street and down alley instead of tending to city matters. My oldest girl is off fooling with some wild kid, and my business has fallen off so far I can't find a balance sheet.
Mershin, I found some very interesting information in this book about the professor's alma mater,
His who?
his university.
Oh, that's about all we do know about him. Gary Conservatory, class of Art 5.
Well, if you'll take just a minute to read about the conservatory, I don't think you'll have to look further. It's on page...
Pop! The Wells Fargo wagon just coming up from the cheese.
The Wells Fargo wagon? At this time of day? Nonsense! The Wells Fargo wagon?
It's coming, the fan instrument!
The band instrument?
The Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. Oh, please let it be for me. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. I wish I knew what it could be.
I got a box of maple sugar on my birthday.
He must have got a great bag in the hall.
Hey, once I got a grapefruit from Cameron. Montgomery Ward sent me a bathtub and a cross-cut sock.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. A brief enterprise on COD.
Could be curtain.
Or knitted.
Or a double boiler.
Or it could be
Yes, it could be. Yes, you're right. It surely could be.
something special.
Something very, very special now.
Just for me.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. Don't let it pass my door. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. I wish I knew what he was coming for.
I got some seven from Seattle last September.
And I expect a new rocking chair.
I hope I get my raisins from Fresno. The DAR has sent a cannon for the courthouse square.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming now. I don't know how I could ever wait to see. It could be found with someone who is loving me, or it could be successful this I could not be safe for this.
Then you'll all receive your instruction books in due course. In the meantime, stay off the streets, get acquainted with your band instruments, and remember the minuet and G. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da.
Sister, this is the most gorgeous snuggle singers, and now it's starting to eat the squashes that is supposed to snuggle sing. Oh, sister!
Well, that's round one for you, Mr. Hill. But I better hear some by God tootin' out of them horns in pretty short order. or I'll have you down in front of the grand jury down at the county fleet. Now, Marion, about that book.
George, tell us music.
Now, you watch your phraseology here. I need to talk to the librarian. Marion, thank you.
The Ladies Auxiliary meets Tuesday nights at the high school.
Shaboopy, shaboopy, shaboopy.
Why, you?
We'd rather get in front of your back, but
Do what? Never mind.
Anita's scared of you. But I'm not. And I should think you'd hate to have your own daughter scared of you. Jump into Jehoshaphat.
Now you watch your phraseology. Now I'm going to tell you one more time. If I catch you near my daughter again, I'll horsewhip you till you can't sit down for a month.
But George!
Not one poop out of you, madam.
I think she means keep.
Now get out of this public
I have as much right in the public building as anybody.
building. Right. How can you talk about rights, aiding and abetting the swindling activity of this symbol salesman? You know what I see written all over you? Reform school. Now get out of this public building.
Papa, please. It's capitalists like you that make blood in the marketplace. Holy tea.
Now you watch your phraseology, young woman. Now go home. You lady,
Yes?
you tend to your dance. Sunita, I'll take care of you. Hanging around with some wild kid from the wrong side of town.
Mershon, if I could just make you understand, she's just a...
Well, you can. And by the way, thanks for nothing. I read that book you gave me from cover to cover for a whole week and didn't find a thing.
Mayor shit, if you please.
I'll settle your hash as soon as I get these premises off my oldest girl. Yes, what do you want?
Oh, I just wanted to let you know that I'll be vouching for Tommy Gillis. Why, that kid's got the confidence of every boy in town. You'll be waiting to shake his hand by the time our band plays in its first concert.
By the time your band plays its first concert, the members will have to foregather in wheelchairs on account of the broken legs they'll get from tripping over their beards. I'll tell you something, my fine young feathered young... Never mind. Casey, you are Owen. I want that man's credentials, and I want them tonight. Now, don't let him out of your sight. He's slippier than a Mississippi sturgeon.
We'll get his papers.
Yes, get his papers or get him in jail. I couldn't make myself any clearer if I was a button hook in the well water.
Professor Hill, I think Mershon behaved abominably, and I think it was wonderful the way you came to Tommy's defense.
Oh, it was nothing.
Oh, but it was.
Oh, a man can't dodge a little risk every time a little personal issue's involved, or something like that. Now, what does the poet say? The coward dies 1,000 deaths, the brave man only 500. Well, Mayor's pretty upset on account of the billiard parlor and all, and I suppose a musical authority like yourself would help, but, well, I just couldn't ask you to do a thing like that.
Well, Professor Hill.
Ah, you would?
I'd be glad to. I just wish I were a little more informed. You see, I've been meaning to talk to you about Winthrop's cornet.
His coronet? Oh, yes, mother of pearl key.
Oh, yes, I'm sure it's fine, but you see, he never touches it. Well, the first week he made a few experimental blats, I guess you'd call them.
Blats. Oh, yes, blats.
And he sings a minuet in G almost constantly.
Ah, yes. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da.
La-di-da, la-di-da. But he never touches the cornet.
Well, you see,
He says you told him it wasn't necessary.
Well, that's correct.
And he tells me about the think system, that if he just thinks the minuet in G, then he won't have to bother with the notes. Now, really, Professor Hill, I'm sorry, but
Miss Marion, the think system's a revolutionary method, I'll admit. So was Galileo's conception of the heavens, Columbus's conception of the egg, the globe, Bach's conception of the well-tempered clavichord. Now, I cannot discuss these things in public, but if you would allow me to call, when may I call?
Oh, any night this week.
Miss Peru, you should see Ross joining our Del Star committee. Oh dear, it seems I should be with Professor Hill this evening. You dance like a fairy princess. The moonbeam for a floor. You had a golden shimmer in your hair and silver shoes for all the sleeves. We're sure that you will soon unfold a forgiving heart as pure as gold, dear. Where one heart should be. Fairy princess, moonbeam floor, golden shimmer, silver shoes, calico, heart of
Sorry, Professor. We got our orders. We all been deputized.
Well, congratulations. You know, fellas, all week long I've been trying to get you my references and credentials, but every time you seem to get off the subject somehow. Now I have just what you want at my hotel. Just be a second.
Sorry. Afraid I'll have to go with you.
Well, let me get my key here. Wait, what's this? Why, it's a testimonial from Madame Rini, the only female bassoon player to appear in the Red Path Circuit. Oh, that's her stage name, actually. She's from Moline. Lida Rose Quackenbush.
Can I see that for a minute?
Oh, you'll never forget a name. Lida Rose, same as the old song. Lida Rose, I'm home again. Rose, to get the sun back in the sky. Lida Rose, I'm home again. Rose, about 1,000 kisses shy. Ding dong ding, I can hear the chapel bells chime. Ding dong ding, at the least suggestion, I'll pop the question. Lida Rose, I home again, Rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Lida Rose, now everyone knows that I am hoping you're the same. So here is my love song, not fancy or fine. Lida Rose, oh, won't you be mine? Lida Rose, oh, Lida Rose, oh, Lida Rose.
Well, will you ever stop arguing with yourself? Will you tell him? Won't you tell him? Ah, yes. Ah, no, ah, fiddlestick. Just open your mouth and let it come out.
Now, Mama,
Now, Mama, nothing. If he comes to pay another call, you get him alone. And if you haven't the gumption to tell him how you feel.
Tell him?
Well, it never hurts to give a little ladylike hint.
Mama, Mama!
Winthrop, where have you been?
Fishing!
Fishing?
With Harold!
Oh, you mean Professor Hill?
Mm-hmm. And look! I saw the monster!
Did you have a good time?
Squatches! He told me all about his hometown, Gary, Indiana. And he said he'd take me there someday. And he told me his song. And it has honey and yeses in it. Yes, it! Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. Let me say it once again. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. That's the town that knew me when. If you like to have on the estate fun, how I have fun on the snow, let's sink our face in. I was there all alone because it takes fun. There's just one face that got less face. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, not Louisiana, babe, just yours from home. But Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, home sweet home. If you like to have on the explanation, how I have fun on the snow, let's sing a face in. I was there all alone because it takes fun. There's just one place that can light my face. Gary, Indiana,
Gary, Indiana.
not Louisiana, babe, just yours from home. But
Gary, Indiana. Gary, Indiana.
Gary, Indiana, home sweet home. I'll be back in a minute. I'm gonna whisk my squad. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. La-di-da.
Don't worry about the dishes, Mama. I'll do them.
Don't you have to get dressed for the social?
Well, there's time later.
Shins live around here somewhere?
Well, the Shins live on East Elm. You're on West Elm.
Ah, criminy. Hey! I see you're the piano teacher in town. Surely you know about that fella Hill forming a boys band around here.
Oh, yes.
Well, don't you worry about him no more. I got the goods on him in spades. That swindling two-bit thimble rigger. That's why I've got to see Shin. That number 8 train only makes a 15-minute water stop. Wish it was 20. Sure would like to have 5 minutes to spend on you, girly girl.
Who are you?
Name's Charlie Cowell, handful salesman. But just now I'm out to protect the good name of the traveling fraternity from this swindler.
Well, Mr. Cowell, you're making a big mistake.
Mistake my old lady's corset cover. That fellow's been a raspberry seed in my wisdom tooth long enough. He ruined Illinois for me, but he's not going to ruin Iowa. What kind of music teacher are you anyway? You didn't see through that phony. Why, he's no more professor than I am.
Oh, that I know all about that. Band leaders often take the name professor. It's a harmless deception. Actually, he's a fine director, and his academic
Now,
skills are-
wait a minute. Fine director. Have you ever heard one note of music from any band?
Well, no, but I'm
But
sure.
nothing, girly girl. He never formed a band in his life, and he never will.
If you'll just listen to me for a minute.
I'd like to. I'd like to do more than listen if I had the time. I sure got the inclination. But just now, I've got to get back on that train. And I've got to leave this dynamite with somebody on my way to the depot. Bye, girly girl. See you next time through.
Well, you'll never make it to the depot. You're going to have to catch it at the crossing.
No, sir. I got to leave word with somebody, and I can see you ain't the one to leave it with.
Well, Mr. Cowell, you don't even know me yet.
Is that an invitation?
Well, what I mean to say is I don't know you yet.
Yes, I need more time anyway.
Well, what I mean to say is I don't know you as well as I'd like to.
No trouble there, girly girl.
Well, I never met a man who sells animals before. Well, that is something quite different.
Takes a real salesman, I can tell you that. Animals have a limited appeal, you know. What am I doing? I missed that train and I'll get fired. I got to leave word about that fella Hill.
Well, you leave word with me.
Not on your tin type. How do I know you deliver these letters?
Try me. There's your train. Now run for it.
What? You double-dealing? Who do you think you're protecting? That guy's got a girl in every county in Illinois and he's taking it away from every one of them. And that's 102 counties. Not counting the piano teachers like you. He cozies up to so they'll keep their mouths shut. Well, neither one of you's heard the last of me, girly girl.
Shall we set as your mother said?
Well,
Oh, you did ask me to call.
Did I? I didn't mean that I...
Oh, I'm not suggesting that your invitation inferred anything except academic enlightenment. Well, the think system. I've been by your house to try to explain it to you a time or two this week, but there seem to always be people around, and mostly ladies, I thought.
Oh, yes, Mrs. Squires and several of the ladies.
Oh, that's good. I wouldn't want anybody beating my time. Would you? No, ma'am. Well, this is obviously not the convenient night. I'll see you at the sociable later.
Professor Hill, is it true that you've had 100? I mean, is it true? I mean to say, is it true that you've developed a think system?
Think system? Oh, a think system. Yes, it's really quite simple. It's as simple as whistling. Nobody has to show you how to use your lips to whistle. All you have to do is think a tune here, have it come out clearly here. Now try for yourself before you ask any questions.
I think I'll take your word for it.
Well, could we sit?
Oh, are all music teachers as dense as I am?
Well, all music teachers?
Well, I dare say you've known dozens, but hundreds?
Well,
Have they all been as fascinated as I am with think system?
Well, some more, some less. You know, one young lady thought up the same system before I got to her town. Showed me a few refinements.
I see.
Oh, well, have I said something wrong?
Professor Hill, don't let me keep you. I'm sure you have far more important things to do than to explain the think system to me.
Oh, well, I can't think of one.
And I dare say I must be rather dull company for a man of your experience.
Now, why would you say a thing like that?
One hears rumors about traveling salesmen.
Well, Miss Marion, you shouldn't believe everything you hear. After all, one even hears rumors about librarians.
I suppose you're referring to my Uncle Matty.
Uncle Matty?
Mr. Madison, my father's best friend. No matter what you've heard, he left me an assured job so that Mama and Winthrop and I could have some security. Surely you don't think that I would...
Oh, of course not. But that's exactly what I'm saying. Why do you think people start these rumors?
Oh, I don't know. Disappointment, jealousy mostly, I suppose.
Exactly. And jealousy mostly starts rumors about traveling salesmen. Well, what have you heard?
Oh, well, nothing about you personally, just generally.
Well, what have you heard generally?
Well, just that course, it stands to reason that, well, disappointment and jealousy could lead to misunderstandings. I mean, take you, for instance. The attention that you give to your customers and, well, music teachers could easily be misunderstood. Well, couldn't they? I mean, honestly, couldn't they?
Why,
And if, as you say, another salesman or someone were jealous, well, they could be downright lies, couldn't they? Or couldn't they?
couldn't what?
Rumors and things.
Oh, of course.
It just goes to show you shouldn't believe everything you hear. Well, not if you discuss things.
My dear little librarian, I would be willing to discuss anything in the world with you if we could just do it sitting down. You do sit. Your knees bend and all.
I suppose we could sit on the porch steps.
Or we could sit over in that large hollow log over by the footbridge.
Oh, I couldn't possibly. I've never been to the footbridge with a man in my life.
Well, just to talk.
Well, I have to get ready for the sociable.
Well, then meet me there in 15 minutes.
I just can't. Maybe some other time. Maybe tomorrow.
Oh, Miss Marion, pile up enough tomorrows and you'll have collected nothing but a lot of empty yesterdays. I don't know about you, but I'd like to make today worth remembering.
Oh, so would I.
The footbridge then. 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Mama! Mama! What? I just promised Professor Hill I'd meet him at the footbridge in 15 minutes.
Glory be and saints be praised, it works!
What works?
The system! I've been using it on you from the parlor!
Marcellus, the uniforms have arrived. The kids are in them already. The people are going to be screaming for music if those kids show up at the sociable. Okay. Here's most of the dough. I got Tommy to collect it. He's trying to keep the kids together, at least. He's pretending all the practice down the lumberyard.
Great, Marcel. You go get the ribbon.
I got it.
Well, what time's the freight go?
9:40 from the junction.
Well, it's only 8:30, and I think...
Look,
you want to turtle-wordle around here and get yourself caught up in a bunny trap, you go ahead. But...
Oh, Mars, I'll meet you at the hotel in plenty of time. Now beat it! Ah, Marion, you're late.
But you said 15 minutes.
Well, I meant to say that you're about 26 years late. Took you all this time to get a fella to the footbridge.
Well, to tell you the truth, it almost took longer.
Oh?
About halfway here, I almost turned back. I suppose I'm not the first one to think more clearly when not under the spell of your salesmanship.
Oh, now surely you don't think I've been trying to sell you anything.
Oh, no, you've given me something. That's why I decided to come.
I don't recall giving.
Oh, but you have something beautiful. That's why I came, and I'm so glad. Oh, please don't think I expect too much. I know one can't expect a traveling salesman to stay put, and I know there have been many ports of call, and there'll be many more. But that doesn't mean I can't be grateful for what you've left behind for me. There were bells on the hills, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard them at all till there was you. There were birds in the sky, but I never saw them winging. No, I never saw them at all till there was you. And there was music, and there were wonderful roses. They tell me in sweet, fragrant meadows of dawn and dew. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all till there was you. There was love around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all till there was you.
Marion, there's a few things you don't know about me.
Hey, Greg.
Oh, I'm expecting a cable from Hector Berlioz. This could be it.
Now what do you want? Who's the salesman here? It sounds like she's selling and you're buying.
Well, I didn't know I was going to be able to leave tonight. Besides, I told you I had to keep her off balance.
She's so far off balance now you can't tell her from a catboat in a hurricane.
Listen, Custer, I've come up through the ranks of this skirmish, and I'm not resigning without my commission.
You can't get anywhere right out here on this footbridge.
Oh, well, there's a place over near the Sociable makes this footbridge look like an old lady's home. Now, beat it, go get the rig. Ooh, never a dull moment in the music business. Now then, where were we?
Oh, you were about to tell me what I don't know about you?
We don't have to go into that now, do we?
No, Harold, not now and not ever for that matter. You see, the librarian hasn't felt much like doing research lately, but she did a lot when you first arrived here.
Oh, about what?
About Professor Harold Hill, Gary, Indiana Conservatory of Music, gold medal class of '05. Harold, there was no gold medal class of '05.
Oh, why, there certainly...
Because the town wasn't built till '06. See you at the Sociable.
When did you find out?
Oh, July 7th, 3 days after you came. I tore this page out of the Indiana Journal, and I'd originally planned to use it against you, but now I give it to you with all my heart.
But if you knew, why didn't you... Little... 110 cornets played the air. Then I suddenly took my space as the one and only bass, and I fought up and down the square.
Good night, my someone. Good night, my love.
While 110 cornets played the air.
Our star is shining, its brightest light.
There were horns of every shape and kind. Sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be.
While 110 cornets fill the air.
I wish I may, and I wish I might. For good night, my someone. Good night.
Great! This guy's crazy! He's going all over town spelling everything! I'm afraid I'm crazy. Missed my train, probably lost my job, but I got you now, Hill, and you'll pay. Why, you'd be in a clink already, hadn't it, for that Piana teacher? I tell her all about you. What does she do? Lollygags me around until I miss my train. Why, that man-hungry, dried-up, little doxy round-heel biscuit. Oh.
Now you get out of town, you dirty mouthful.
You big bully, you blob! I'll stay in this town until you get yours up, down, sideways, and through. Why, you never even knew the territory!
Hey, here's your stuff. The rig's in the alley. Come on, hurry up.
Oh, Harold, we can't find a wizard. We think he's run away. Harold, you have to go there. You've been talking about tar and feathers.
Oh, but I had to talk
It's
to
all
you.
right. Don't you know that? You don't owe me a word, not a single word, but please, go.
Quick, quick! He isn't around here anywhere! Let's try down by the creek! The creek!
Oh, now, hold on a minute there, son.
I'm not
Oh, hold on, I want to talk to you.
I want you for you and not to stay away.
Would too.
Why not?
Would too tell you anything you want to know.
Can you lead a band?
No.
Are you a big liar?
Yes.
Are you a dirty round crook?
Yes.
Then you go to big liar.
Oh, now you wanted the truth, didn't you? Now you hold on there, and I'm bigger than you, and you're just going to stand right there and get it all. Now, there's a couple of things you're entitled to know. Number one is, I think you're a great kid. Thought so from the start. That's why I put you in the band. So you wouldn't go around feeling sorry for yourself, moping around.
What band?
Well, I always think there's a band, kid.
What's the other thing I'm entitled to know?
Well, come to think of it, I don't think that's any of your business.
Oh,